Hey Nicole, Kelly here with Leads by Lordi as well as the New Dance Teacher Network. I wanted to put together a quick video for you giving you some free tips and tricks that you can start implementing right away in order to start outranking your competition on the internet. So the first thing that we're going to take a look at is your website. And I love how you have really created a brand with your website by using your colors and posting your logo throughout. The first thing that I would recommend changing or doing would be making sure that your logo is at the very top of the page, whether it be the top left-hand corner within this box here or opposing this box in the right-hand side. This just lets people know that when they reach your page that they have reached the website that they're actually looking for and that they are on your dance competition's website and not somebody else that might have the same name or in another region. The next thing I want to talk about is your website and the pages. So as I click on your toolbar at the top here, your header bar, I see that it scrolls down through the website. One thing that we would want to do is break this into individual pages. That way you can create more of an online presence. So each page has its own URL and each page gets more of a presence on the internet. So if you have just one page that scrolls down through, that only gives you one chance to put your website out onto the internet. If you have multiple pages, you can be found from multiple different URLs, giving you more of an online presence. So that's one thing that I would change. The next thing that I want to talk about is content. With the internet and especially Google, content is king. So Google looks for anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500 words on a home page, and then on back pages, they look for anywhere from 500 to 750 words. And that's depending on your competition. Now, when I did some research into the SEO and the search volume and the difficulty to rank, I don't see as much of the search volume there for dance competitions, especially in your area. So I wouldn't worry about putting in a lot of effort or money into the ongoing search engine optimization. And what that is being found on the internet by using backlinking and off-site SEO. What I would focus on is some on-site SEO. It's always good to do at least the basics with on-site SEO, just to, again, boost your online presence and have you be found for keywords, which takes us to keywords. A keyword is a word or a phrase that people are putting into the Google search bar in order to find the information that they're looking for. So when somebody is looking to register for a dance competition, they might put into the search bar dance competitions near me, or prices for dance competitions, or dance competitions in my area, or they might actually use the location of the dance competition. And what we want to do is we want to make sure that the keywords that you're putting into your content, or key phrases that you're putting into your content, are buyer intent keywords. So you would rather use a phrase like I just mentioned rather than what is a dance competition, because that phrase, people searching for on Google for what is a dance competition, they aren't looking to necessarily register, they're just looking for information. And we want to look for people that are interested in registering. So I would definitely increase your content on each section. Like I said, you would want to get this anywhere from about 500 to 750. You could be on the lower end since there's not a ton of search volume within your area, and it's not as difficult to rank for. You don't have to go full out, but if your competitors have more content, it's always better to increase your content. And as we scroll down, it goes the same for each section. Again, just increasing content, and within that content, making sure you're using buyer intent keywords or phrases. The next thing that I want to talk about is your Facebook, or actually I'm going to compare you first, sorry. So I'm going to jump over to Dance City Promotions. This was one of your competitors that you mentioned. And what they have, like I just mentioned, and one thing that I like about their website is that they have their logo at the top left-hand corner here, and their header bar, they have multiple pages. And again, this just gives them an opportunity to be found for different URLs, and it just increases their online presence. Now, one thing that they don't do that we just mentioned is the amount of content. So by increasing the amount of content that you have and putting in those keywords, you should be able to outrank them and start moving up within your place on Google in Google searches. And for the Performer, that was the other company that you mentioned to me. I didn't see a website for them. I only saw their Facebook page. Now, another thing just to touch on is within your website, you want to have what it is that you want people to do right at the front. So they don't do this exactly the way I would like on Dance City Promotions or what I would recommend, but they do have a register button. Now, in my opinion, it's best to put out a call out, so something that catches people's attention and gives them a chance to fill out the form right there on your homepage rather than a button. But it is great that they have that on the homepage, which I didn't see at the top of your homepage. So right here, if we switch back to your website, I don't see a chance to register until we get down further at the very bottom. And you would want this at the top since that's your priority and what you want people to actually do. Moving on, I'm going to take a look at your Facebook page. So as I pull up your Facebook page, again, I love that you've really created your brand and you're definitely showing that at the top within your picture, your profile picture and your profile header. And another thing that I'm noticing is that you're posting frequently. Now, I believe you're a new company based off of what I'm seeing on the internet here, and you're doing an excellent job of posting. So what we want to do is what you want to keep in mind is that you should be posting about 3 times a week, more if you can, but at the very minimum 3 times a week. And within those posts, you want to make sure that you're putting more content, again, because the more content that you have, it lets Facebook and Facebook users know what you're about, and it gives you the opportunity to be found for more search terms. And in addition to creating more content, you want to make sure that content has keywords or key phrases that you want to be found for. And you can even use those keywords or phrases in your hashtags, which I see you're putting hashtags on, which is awesome. I would definitely increase the amount of hashtags in each post. And I would also use, oh, there you do, you have emojis. I was going to say I would use a couple more emojis. So emojis catch people's attention, and it's good to spread them out throughout your content. Another thing to keep in mind when doing whether it be Facebook content or Instagram content is you want to follow the 4 steps of copyright. So you want to make sure you have an attention grabber, an interest, something that gains the user's interest, I'm blanking, an attention grabber, an interest, a solution to the problem, and then the 4th thing is what you want them to do. And by having those 4 things, you walk them through the process of what you have. First, you pique their interest, you grab their attention, then you pique their interest, then you solve a problem that they may have. So whether that be looking for a dance competition in your area or can't find a dance competition within an hour drive, look at our dance competition and click below to register. Just something to walk them through the process of what it is that you want them to do. In addition, I would make sure that your about section and everything on your profile is filled out to the maximum. So Facebook allows for a certain amount of characters in the about section, and they look for a certain amount of profile, and make sure that your profile is filled out to 100% capacity. What you want to do is make sure that you are maxing out on all of the characters that you're allowed to use and that you're filling out every section that Facebook asks for. The more filled out your Facebook page is, the better chance that you have of being found for, again, those keywords and what it is that you want people to find your Facebook page for, which would be dance competitions. Now I'm going to take a look at your competitions Facebook page. And one thing that I like that they do is they have this pop up with the messages, and that just catches people's attention. So if somebody has a question, they're able to go directly to your Facebook page and ask you. So I would recommend definitely putting this onto your Facebook page as the pop up with the messages. That way people can reach out and they don't have to, they might not realize that they have a question even, and that just grabs their attention and lets them know that you're here to talk. Now, the last thing that I'm going to take a look at is Instagram. And I'm going to look at your Instagram first. And I see that you do a lot of cross-posting on your Instagram, that's completely fine. So I know some people use Facebook, some people use Instagram. So it's okay to cross-post and do the same posts on both. And again, it kind of goes with Facebook. Make sure, you're increasing the amount of content using emojis, increasing your hashtags, and making sure you're using buyer intent keywords within what you're writing, as well as meeting all 4 criteria: attention grabber, interest, problem solving, and what you want them to do. Another thing that I noticed that you don't have that your competition has and that where you could really benefit from is using your live streaming. And whether that be, I mean, I know you're a new competition, so that could just be, you know, you talking about upcoming competitions and where it's going to be held. And I know you said you're doing virtual competitions at the moment. So even go live telling people how they can register or directing them to your website or whatever it may be, just the more opportunity to go live, the more that you're getting your name out there. Another thing that you can do that your competition is doing, and this would help you outrank your competition, is they're taking their live videos and they're saving them. And this gives people an opportunity to look back on the season and what you've done. Now, one thing that I noticed that they don't do, which I wish they would have done, and one thing that you can do is creating, and this goes back to creating a brand for yourself, is putting pictures over top of each of these bubbles that tell the user what you're about. And you could make the pictures, you know, the same background, the same font, and it just says like what each bubble's about. And that also goes into your brand because it matches your brand name and your brand logo. Other than that, you're doing an excellent job. Like I said, I love how you're definitely starting to create your brand. You're posting frequently. You're doing a wonderful job on the internet. Just make some of those improvements and tips and use some of those tips and tricks. And if you need help, please reach out to us. And again, my name's Kelly with Leads by Lordi, and our website is leadsbylordi.com. And let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.